Coming up on today's episode, I'll be answering two questions. What is the attack first mentality, and how can I become a better scorer? Get ready to attack.
Welcome to the Grit Hoops Podcast, powered by Grit Basketball, where passion meets performance. This is the show for players, coaches, and parents who are committed to real development, elite skills, and the mindset it takes to win. We break down the game, cut through the myths, and give you the tools to maximize potential on and off the court. If you're ready to put in the work and take your game to the next level, let's get to it.
Welcome to the Grit Hoops Podcast. Coach Kerry here from Grit Basketball. If it's your first time listening, welcome. If you're a returning listener, welcome back. So today we're talking about two questions that I've had from many players over the years. First question pertains to mentality, and it's asking, what is the attack first mentality? Second question is, how do I become a better scorer? Before I get into these two questions, stay tuned till the end of this episode for a very crazy topic that's coming up that Grit is going to be releasing, and some big news. We want to make sure we start getting the word out. Can't tell you much about it, but we just want to give you a little insight about what's coming down the pike. All right, so to get into this episode, we'll be talking about what is the attack first mentality. So first thing I want to break down in what the attack first mentality is at Grit Basketball, for many years, we're training players over a decade, and players will start getting better, improving their skills, and sometimes we realize, or oftentimes we realize, players may have a hard time realizing their new talents and producing it on the court. And if they don't produce these skills on the court, all their hard work is for nothing. So we always try to figure out what's the mentality that they should be playing with to help players the most throughout this process. And we came up with, many years ago, the attack first mentality. And the attack first mentality is basically when you catch the ball, or even if you don't have the ball, you're looking to initiate things. You're looking to be the initiator. And this is about controlling your environment and situations. So someone asked, what is the attack first mentality? And the attack first mentality, number one, it can apply to all aspects of the game. When we say that, it's your mentality when it comes to defense. Do you sit back and relax, or are you up and forcing people to be uncomfortable? Are you zigzagging and pressuring defenders? Are you going to get steals and passing lanes? We believe that the attack first mentality defensively, with rebounds, with offense, it can change a player's life. And change how productive they are. It will give you way more opportunities. It's going to open up way more doors when it comes to prolonging your career, because you're so much more impactful. And most importantly, you're going to grow a lot more. If you try things and you do things, yes, you might fail, but you're going to grow throughout that process. So once again, what is the attack first mentality? The attack first mentality is what we preach and we teach at Grit Basketball to all of our players, as a mentality for them to let loose and be aggressive and be the initiator throughout the game. All right, so the attack first mentality applies to many aspects of the game. Some of the aspects may be rebounding, with running in and going to get a rebound. I had 1,000 rebounds in high school. I'm 6'1". It was more of a just aggressive mindset. I just ran in to get every rebound. I didn't know the attack first mentality at that point. I just did it. Every time someone shot, I thought about it as a pass to me, and I went in to get the rebound. So it led to me getting 1,000 rebounds. Obviously, that led to more points. That led to be having more of an impact. I wasn't the most skilled player in high school. I was very athletic. I had the ability to just compete at a high level, and I had this attack first mentality, and it took me as far as my natural abilities could, and then I had to dial in with my skills. So this attack first mentality can take you extremely far, whether you're super skilled or not. And if you're very skilled, it's even more important, because you have so much untapped potential if you're not doing this. All right, so it applies to rebounding. It can apply to your shooting. When you catch the ball in the kick out, some kids catch it, they don't shoot. They look around, they hold it, all right? Thinking shot before the ball even hits your hands, right? You know you're open, shoot the ball. When you come down, you have a defender in front of you. Can you attack to the right, to the left? Can you beat your defender in ISO situation, right? Constantly looking to attack defense, especially with driving, all right? Next thing, it could be with transition. Do you run the floor? Do you sprint the wings and look to throw the ball ahead like a Halliburton? Or are you constantly applying pressure in transition, right? Even screening a defender. Do you screen very tentatively? Do you screen with bad angles, or are you a great screener and you cause advantages? You create advantages for your best players on the team, for your teammates. Are you a great screener? These are all things that you could apply the attack mentality to. Next thing is about the attack mentality is, I mentioned it briefly, it's about control. So my mentor, one of my mentors, Don Kelbick, he always said he doesn't believe in offense or defense, right? He believes it's about control. And I didn't understand what he was talking about until we had a conversation. And he said, if you're on defense, quote unquote, and you are dictating what the person with the ball is doing, technically you're in control. So offense is about control. If I have the ball and I am dictating what the defense is doing, I'm in control. So think of, as much of the game as possible, you want to be on offense. You want to be in control. So having the attack first mentality allows you to constantly have a mindset to be in control of all situations. So obviously we can't control everything. Unpredictable things will happen. That's why we work on our skills and we adapt. But having control in situations requires you to have a mindset that you're attacking first. You're initiating. You're not responding all the time. Okay, so having the attack first mentality, applying it to the philosophy of maintaining control throughout a game. So how much, if you look at your son, daughter, or your players, coach, and you look, the best players are in control often. They're always controlling. If they're in transition, they're pushing the ball. The defense look like they're on their heels. If they're catching the ball to shoot, they're shooting the ball. No matter what the defense, even, defense has no shot, right? If they're running out, they're shooting the ball. If they're super out on them, they're going by, right? So they're in control. If someone's in front of them, they're attacking that person. They're in control, right? So the players that are mostly in control are usually the better players. So if you want to develop really high-level players, develop players that have the attack mentality, because that's going to lead to them controlling more situations. And once they control more situations, it automatically makes them better. Last part to what is the attack mentality is your work ethic and with your training. So how can you have attack mentality? You're not in the game, because the game is actually not the most important thing. The most important thing is your daily habits and your training. Unfortunately, I hear sometimes even coaches don't like their kids to train with different people, and they have really weird controlling things about them, right? Players, I'm telling you right now, you want to find the best trainers. Parents, you got to find people that's going to help your kids excel. Players, you need to constantly look to improve on a daily basis. So you need to have the attack mentality with your training and your daily habits. So attack mentality with your training would be you train every day. You possibly train twice a day, right? Doesn't mean you're pounding your body into the ground twice a day. One of your training sessions might be a shooting workout. One of your training sessions might be focused on ball handling, finishing. Another training session might be, you're lifting, working on your body. So all of your habits that you have on a daily basis, have the attack first mentality with them. All right, so just to recap, the three things that we believe that we try to teach heavily when it comes to what is the attack mentality is, number one, it can apply in all aspects of the game. This applies to rebounding, shooting, finishing, attacking, transition, screening. It applies in all aspects of the game. The next thing, it's about control. The attack first mentality puts you in the driver's seat. It puts you in control. I went to watch one of our players this week, very good sixth grader, named Logan. Shout out to Logan. And he does a great job, very talented, going to be college player, 110%. And Logan he took a three, and the three went in and out. And the coach pulled him out. He was, a little deep. He could shoot from almost logo or volleyball line very easily. So he shot a little deeper. The coach took him out, sat him for 3 minutes, and then he deterred him from shooting anymore. So I talked to Logan, and he has a fine line between this. But unfortunately, that coach may not think this way, and he sees a missed shot as a failure. But I re-emphasize to Logan, I'm proud of him for taking that shot because he knows he can make that shot. He's trained that shot. So controlling situations, sometimes you might be in a situation where a coach may not know what you can do, and that's why you train and that's why you work. Hopefully through these conversations, these podcasts, coaches try to shift to more of a growth mindset approach and praise even a kid attempting a shot, not just missing or making a shot. So the controlling a situation, sometimes it can be a little bit out of your control, but you want to try to control as many situations as possible, at least on the court, when it comes to the person defending you or how you defend someone. So having a mindset where you're constantly in attack mode, whether it's on defense, offense, you are going to control way more of the game. And lastly, I talked about attacking your training regimens, your everyday training. How is your training? How consistent is your training? Are you seeking out people to learn from? Or some kids, unfortunately, they think they know everything. I'm going to do it myself. I think I could just train myself, which you might be able to a certain extent. But obviously, if someone can give you a guide, you're going to get to where you're trying to get to way faster. So being open to training, getting out there, getting yourself uncomfortable, and being consistent with your training 2 times a day. And even the best players, like I've stated in several episodes, they do 3 a days. And it doesn't have to be 3 of the same workouts. You're not with your trainer 3 times. You might work out with your trainer once. You might even do a shoot around or practice, and then you go and you dribble, right? Or you do your strength workout or agility, things like that. So mix up your workouts. Okay, so that's the end of that question. We'll do a quick little pause in this episode to hear a little more from Grit.
Basketball players and coaches, want to take your finishing to an elite level? The Grit Elite Finisher course is your fast track to mastering layups with both hands, finishing through contact, and making every shot count. This step-by-step program gives you lifetime access to high-level training and downloadable resources, helping you go from struggling at the rim to finishing with confidence in just weeks. Don't just take our word for it. Players like Diamond Miller of the Minnesota Lynx, Tucker Richardson, playing pro in Europe, Olivia Miles from Notre Dame, Jalen Blakes, played at Duke and Stanford, and Michaela Blakes. At Vanderbilt, they have all sharpened their skills through elite training like this. For just $2.99, you get everything you need to elevate your game. Ready to finish strong? Sign up for the Grit Elite Finisher course today at gritbasketball.com. That's gritbasketball.com.
Okay, welcome back. This next question, how can I become a better scorer? This is a question we get often, but it's funny because people ask it in secret. Oh, they want to try to score better. No one fully comes out and says they want to score better, but you know people want to score. Why do people not say it? Because for some reason in basketball, it is taught that it's selfish to want to score the ball more. Does that, it just doesn't make sense. No one criticizes someone that wants to rebound more. Dennis Rodman, you want to get every rebound. Or you want to, a pass and drive and kick more. Why do we criticize scoring, right? I'm not sure, but we all know there's people and kids and players all out there that want to score more. And I'm going to tell you, number one, if you do score more, you automatically will become a way more marketable player if you want to play in college or you want to go to higher levels, right? So scoring is important, and not saying it's not selfish to want to score more, because the points go to everyone. It goes to your team. Everyone scores more. Every team needs scores. So with that being said, how do you score more? Number one, start training and developing your overall scoring skills. You have to train 2 times a day. Playing one-on-one is important. Playing in small-sided games are important here or there, but you have to develop consistent moves and consistent shooting, consistent finishing skills, floaters. You have to increase your ability to scoring multiple areas of the court. All right, so your skill development is number one. How do you become a better scorer? Focus on skill development. Okay, find a trainer. Ask your coach to stay after practice to help you. Get extra shots up every day. An easy way to improve your scoring would be crashing the boards more. That's going to increase scoring because you're going to get rebound putbacks, easy scoring opportunities. Screen well. If you don't have the skills to break your man down and score, possibly screening and slipping, getting screening for the best player, then you are wide open, things like that. And then most importantly, developing your ability to create for yourself and for others. Okay. And the best thing about being an elite scorer, you're going to realize once scoring becomes very easy for you, you're actually going to end up creating more for others than you ever did. Because once you're a threat and you can beat your man, you're constantly going to have the defense in rotation. You're constantly going to create opportunities for others. So if you are a person that can't beat their man and can't create for yourself, you're actually going to struggle creating for other people. You're going to get stuck in situations where your coach is trying to run an abundancy of plays to try to create advantages because they don't believe the players can create advantages. And it's actually going to hold you back. It's going to hold the team back. You're not going to be that effective if people can't create advantages by themselves, because plays can only generate so many points, right? So creating a scoring ability and improving your scoring ability is going to start with your training. Can't emphasize that anymore. The second thing to become a better scorer is your mentality. You have to have an attack-first mentality. Attack-first mentality means, once again, you're attacking in transition, you're pushing the ball, you're driving to the rim. If you're open to shoot and you have the ability to shoot, hopefully you've trained your shot enough, you take the shot. If you have the ability to take a deep three, you take it, right? And you don't worry so much about the result, even if your coach is just obsessed with results and your coach might pull you out once you make a mistake, right? Either find a new coach or figure it out. Okay, you can't blame and let things hold you back from being the player you need to be. All right, so once again, try to develop your skills. Have an attack-first mentality. With that attack-first mentality, you must embrace failure. Okay, because failure is going to happen. You're going to get in trouble maybe for a turnover. All right. Tucker just did an episode pretty recently. Tucker Richardson, one of the best players we've trained over the years. Been training Tucker for over 15 years. And Tucker talked about how the top 5 offensive creators in the league, right? They lead the league in assists, are also the top 5 in turnovers. Oh, why is that? Because they have the attack mentality with their overall. They're looking to make their risk. They're looking to take some risk. They're aggressive with their passes, with their drives. They're trying to make plays. So if you are a top assist leader in the league or a top playmaker in your games, especially at the youth level, you're also going to make mistakes. And you have to embrace that part of it, okay? If you're with a coach, like I said, that does not understand that, and that's very common. Not every coach is going to be, working on themselves and building up that muscle, right? The muscle of embracing failure and pushing your players to be better for the long term. They're not going to have that. They might get caught up of the fear of the game, winning or losing the game. So that puts pressure on them. So you might be in a situation like that, but you need to be able to handle, maybe have a conversation with coach, or develop those muscles where you're succeeding more so that you don't get criticized as much. Okay, so training will help you obviously not fail as much and have more success, and hopefully you'll gain trust and be able to do more in the court. All right. So lastly, with how can I become a better scorer, is have a growth mindset and focus on development over performance. If you focus too heavily on performance, I talked about this in, I think, 2 episodes ago. If you focus too heavily on performance, you add extra pressure on yourself to be perfect. You lose track of what's actually important. It's not so much just always performing at your best every game. What's most important is that you're growing every game and that you're getting better and that you're learning. Because who you are at the beginning of the season does not mean you're going to be the same person at the end of the season. Who you are as a freshman in high school is going to be totally different than who you are as a senior in high school, right? So the growth is the most important, not the result of a game. All right. So when you really embrace that, you kind of let go of being so tough on yourself when you make a mistake. All right. So that's really important. The last piece, like I said, is having a growth mindset, focusing on development, not performance. Remember, performance is something that's necessary. Okay, it's something that's fun. There's an entertainment factor to the game. It's fun to perform well. But if you focus too heavily on performance, it brings added pressure to the whole situation, and it tenses you up to, instead of seeing the fun and the joy in the game. So focus on development. Don't get caught up in the whole hype. All right. Lastly, today, like I said, I had a special thing to announce to you guys. And all I can say right now is there'll be a Grit app coming soon. And it's going to give you guys tons of insight, tons of coaching and feedback that can change the trajectory of a player. And we're super excited to see this come to fruition, and it's coming together. We're kind of developing some parts of it right now, and can't wait to release this to you. And keep an ear out, keep an eye out, subscribe to our email list, and you will get an email right when this is released. And you can download the app and start using it to improve your game and take your skills and your mindset to a whole new level. All right, so thanks for joining us on this episode. Once again, always remember, attack first.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Grit Hoops Podcast. If you found value in today's conversation, be sure to subscribe or follow so you never miss an episode. Got questions or topics you want us to cover? Hit us up at gritbasketball.com/podcast or connect with us on social media. And remember, greatness isn't given, it's earned. Keep putting in the work, attack first, and we'll see you next time.